I call the honourable member for Capricornia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development. Will the Deputy Prime Minister outline the measures the government is taking to support the upgrade and maintenance of Australia's local road network? Are there any alternatives to the government's plans?
I call the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Capricornia for her continuing interest in the importance of upgrading Australia's road system and in particular the roads in her own electorate. And she would be well aware of the $50 billion commitment that this government has made to upgrading our nation's road and rail network. And it includes some important projects in the electorate of Capricornia, as well as some of the really big-ticket items that we've been talking about in our capital cities and major provincial centres. But it also includes very important commitments for local roads, to make sure that local roads and local streets are properly looked after. You know, for instance, our $565 million commitment to getting rid of black spots on roads, and that involves an extra $100 million in each of 2015-16 and 2016-17. That'll make a real difference to getting rid of black spots on our roads and streets. And of course there's also the $300 million for the new bridges program to get rid of and replace some of those ageing bridge assets around the countryside, and $243 million to continue the black spots program. But of course the most significant of all of the road programs to support the road network at the local level is the Roads to Recovery program. And we have made a $2.1 billion commitment over the next 5 years towards this program, including a double payment in 2015-16. So that will make a real difference again at the local level in dealing with the road projects that are so important, like the $255,000 that's been spent on Ken Street in Rockhampton under this particular program to repair and get that project back underway. However, as the House will know, this particular program expired under the legislation of the previous government on the 30th of June 2014. The bill is now before the Senate, and it will be a matter for the Senate to determine now whether or not this $2.1 billion can be paid to local government on schedule. Now, Labor and the Greens opposed this legislation in the House of the Representatives. They voted against it. And now the challenge will be to Labor and the Greens in the Senate to make sure that they support the legislation so that valuable money can flow through to local government.
Point of order by the
support roads to recovery.
Put the
he can just
down.
support its
that is
legislation.
Not a point of order, and the member knows it.
He can vote for it. He voted.
Resume his seat. The Deputy Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, in response to the interjection, if Labor believes in this program, vote for it in the Senate. You've got legislation in the Senate, vote for it, and don't try and prevent this money flowing through to local councils.